Hi, everyone. Thank you very much, Nelson. Thank you, everyone, for coming. The picture you see there is me who is standing in front of you. 2017 and the 2024. So that is a one person. It's not the two different people. My name is Shau Erro. I was born in Darida Kati, a small village in rural Tanzania. I am 35 years old and I have 3 children. However, before I start, let me apologize for not speaking freely and reading instead. I am still trying to improve my control of English language. I have tremendous resilience, dedication, and discipline in pursuing my goals. However, I learned over the years that without an opportunity, these traits do not take you very far. Throughout my life, many people and the organization give me opportunities, and I grabbed them with all my energy. I come from an extremely poor family with 9 children. Nobody had ever finished the high school before I brought the cycle. But from early on, I dreamed of going to university. Our house had mud walls, dirt floor, grass roofing, and no furniture. We slept on the dirt floor. There was no light, making it impossible to study after dark. My mother's yearly income was approximately 200 US dollar. That is yearly, 200 US dollar. And the school for one child cost half of this. As such, my mother could not afford to send me to school, and I decided to work to be able to do it. There was no kindergarten in Tanzania when I was young. You had to join first grade directly without knowing anything. And because most people in Tanzania did not know their age, as there were no birth certificate at that time, teachers would attempt to guess a child's age in order to determine if they were old enough to join first grade. They estimate someone's age by assessing their ability to put their hands around the head and touch the ears on the opposite side. You do like this. If you are able to touch your ear, you were mature enough to join school. But if you could not touch your ear, you were too young and you were not allowed to start the school. This was very disappointing to many children, particularly those who were short. Yeah, this is the typical house of the poorest of the poor family, as you can see. I know for many of you, maybe is something that you don't like, that you have never seen before. Primary school in Tanzania is 7 years. Middle school is 4, and the high school is another 2, making the 13 years in total. Therefore, significantly less than 9% of Tanzanian children reach high school. The majority end their school life with primary school. I started school directly in first grade when I was 10 years old, and I did not know anything, not even how to count. My first teacher was called Naali. On my first school day, he received me by pulling my ear. But I liked him. He did everything for me to learn. He was a very good teacher. Schools in Tanzania are very poor. There are no school supplies available. As such, when you join first grade, you sit outside and you practice to write the vowels by writing on the dirt floor. As you can see in the pictures, they are practicing how to write. School starts at 7 a.m. in the morning and it finishes at 4:30 p.m. Most students study on an empty stomach because schools do not have a school kitchen and they live very far from school to go home during the lunch hours. Additionally, children from the poorest household don't even have breakfast. These families usually live on a one meal, that is dinner per day. After school, when you are back home, you must work. Girls fetch water, and the boys go to the farm to dig or to remove weeds, cutting grass to feed animals, etc. As you can see in the pictures, those are the students, and you have to work after the school. Normally, we wash our clothes on Wednesday and Sunday by hands. There are no washing machines. We wash on these days because there is an inspection for cleanliness of clothes, hair, nails the following day. And if your clothes are dirty, you will be punished by beating the sticks. Discipline is top priority at school, with a corporal punishment by beating 3 to 6 sticks, boys on their buttocks, girls on their hands. If you did not do your homework, you will be nailed down in front of the class plus 6 sticks. However, nowadays, the government is restricting the number of sticks to only 3. Classes are very crowded, as you can see in the picture, ranging from 50 to 150 students per teacher. Therefore, teachers appoint students to help them. Right from the start, I was selected as a class leader, and I finished the primary school as the head boy who oversees the work of all other helpers. These students' leaders in our school are responsible for the school operation. There is no staff in our schools, and therefore, all work is done by the student, cleaning their bathrooms, fetching water, working on the school farm to provide a little funding for the school, etc. As you can see in the picture, that is the activities the students do in Tanzania. Grade 7 is the most important class in primary school because it is when there is the national exam that determine if you are allowed to join a middle school. When I did my class 7 national exam, I had colleagues whose age varied between 17 to 26 years old. I did the national exam at Bacho Primary School, and I received the grade B. As I mentioned before, on average, only about 1/3 of the students pass the national exam. For instance, in my class, there were 31 students, and the only 12 students passed the exams. That is 10 boys and 2 girls. One of these 2 girls is my wife. Among those who passed, some did not go to middle school because they could not afford to pay a tuition fees. I was one of the few lucky ones that passed and could continue my education. I completed primary school thanks to my favorite teacher, Anna Mafa, who provided me with exercise book and the other needed supplies, giving me an incredible opportunity to transform my life. When I was in primary school, knowing that I would need money to go to middle school, I raised the goats and the chicken, planning to sell them to cover my school expenses. I entered middle school in 2006, but during those days, there was no any middle school in my area, and so I had to join Dareda Mission Secondary School about 10 miles from my house. So every day, I walked these 10 miles each way to reach school and get back home. I had to start walking at 5 a.m. Also, during my study, there were many payments: tuition fee, lunch fee, examination fee, national examination fee, and the other contributions. This made the total of cost of middle school to be about 170 US dollar. This seems little, but it is not. Remember that my mother's income from her maize farm was only 200 US dollar per year. In 2006, a worker or a driver made approximately US dollar 120 per year. So the middle school cost more than 1 year of a worker or a driver salary. But I had my goats and chickens to sell, and I was confident that I would finish middle school. Sadly, however, I miscalculated the amount needed, and by the start of the second year of middle school, I had no more goats and the chickens to sell. I decided to visit my father to ask him to help pay for my studies, given that other fathers did that for their children. He was living 60 miles from my mother's place, and I worked 20 hours. I remember it very clearly this day. I start working from 4:30 a.m. to midnight. I was exhausted. After explaining to my father how much I needed his help, he rejected my request. I was exhausted, and then asked him to give me at least the money for a bus to bring me back home. But he rejected that too. So I walked the 60 miles back, totally disappointed, but still thinking about how I could make my dream of going to university come true. I never gave up my dream. One of my many attempts to solve my challenge, I went to church and prayed, and the Catholic priest in whose choir I saw my disappear. The church then offered to pay a portion of my tuition fees, and the rest was covered by my mother and many other relatives. This was another opportunity that I was given to me, and I took it with strong dedication to succeed. Just like in primary school, I had several leadership positions in middle school, and at the end of the 4th year, I sat for national exam, and I performed very well. This is the most difficult of all national exams. This one determines not only if you must stop studying, but also if you will be allowed to go to university, simply join a community college or go to vocational schools. It is supervised by the teachers from other schools under supervision of the police. In my class, there were about 180 students, but only 13 passed the exams. 8 girls and 5 boys. And luckily, I was one of them. I passed with a high enough grade that gave me the right to go to university at the end of my high school. There was no high school anywhere reachable by walking from my house when I was accepted to go to high school. And for this reason, the government sent me to high school in the Kilimanjaro region. I was 21 years old and moved 12 hours by bus away from home. I stayed in school dormitory. All high school in Tanzania are boarding school, and the government pays for the food. During these 2 years of high school, I could come home only once per year, as I did not have money to pay for transportation. So, in all short holidays, I remained at school. Also, in high school, I had a leadership position, and upon completion, I entered the Ruaha Catholic University thanks to college loan provided by government. I saved as much as I could from this loan, going home only once per year. This is me. I successfully obtained my bachelor degrees of arts in education with specialization in Swahili and history. But unfortunately, there were no jobs in Tanzania, and still Today, 40% of the young population is jobless. I went back home, but was not defeated. I volunteered as a teacher at my old primary school and used my savings from the students' loan to buy 20 chickens so I could sell eggs in the market to sustain my family. I worked hard and kept improving my English by self-studying. Then, in 2017, I was hired as a translator for a group of Western volunteers. I met Nelson Matos, former Google Senior Vice President of Product and Engineering, and the Chief Operating Officer of Karimu, who hired me as a Karimu first employee in Tanzania. Karimu was the biggest thing that happened to me. It gave me so many other opportunities, and I took advantage of every one of them. I was trained on financial services, learning about record keeping, the importance of savings, decision making, and loans. I joined the Karimu Vanilla project. I am experimenting with the use of biochar to reduce the use of industrial fertilizer, increasing yields. I'm already driving the introduction of avocado for export in the region and have learned how to raise chickens commercially. I have taken computer training, learned about the internet, training on photography, project management, leadership management skills, conflict resolution, and much more. Today, I own gorgeous house, several farms, a motorcycle. My children are picked up every morning and driven to an outstanding private school in Babati, the capital of the state. My wife and I have 2 maids who help us at home and several employees taking care of our farms. We are very happy couple with 3 cute little boys. Karimu really changed my life, but it's also completely transformed the region I was born, giving similar opportunities to everyone, and I am just one of the 1,000 who benefited from it. When I started, I was just a junior, brand new employee who was trying to learn absolutely everything. And in my community, there were no health center, no clean water. Less than 9% of our children finish high school. Everyone lived in mud houses with a straw roofing and slept on the dirt floor. And many families had only 1 meal a day. Today, I'm Karimu Regional Director, leading a local team of 7 people who become the best NGO in the Manyara state, and we raised 15,000 people out of poverty. I'm going to repeat this. I will repeat this. We become the best NGO in the Manyara state, and we raised 15,000 people out of poverty. I am super happy. Our sanitation problem have been fully addressed as we constructed highly quality bathrooms in all public facilities, that is schools, clinics, etc., introduced the mandatory hygiene training in all schools and the clinics. The picture you see is the new bathrooms in all schools in my ward. Do you like it? And everyone in our region lives within 500 yards of the clean water points that provides water for free. Just the provision of clean water gives families an average of 4 hours of productive time per day. Imagine the difference that this makes in families' income. The transformation in education is beyond belief. This is my primary school now. As you can see, the classes are very nice and very attractive for the students. We rebuilt all schools, transforming them into attractive learning environment for students. That alone increased the enrollment of students by over 30%. We have the third cleanest school in the country, the best primary school in the state, and our middle school is in the third best school in the country. Over 96% of our children complete high school, and most of them go to university. Above all, the improvement in girls' performance is astonishing. 7 years ago, 158% more boys than girls passed the national exam. Now, more girls than boys pass. And nobody attends school on an empty stomach because all schools provide lunch. We build school kitchen, and it requires the parents to donate food to the school during harvest. So that's the type of food we eat at school. My team also dramatically improved the overall health of the region. Today we have the best mini hospital in the state, and our health dispensaries are the best in the district among 67 clinics. We have seen 50% increase in doctors' visits by children and twice as many adults coming for general medical services. Our child vaccination rate is, according to the World Health Organization, among the highest in the world. We are eradicating tuberculosis, reducing HIV, pelvic cancer, and implementing all World Health Organization protocol in our clinics. We also helped increase the income of the families by introducing highly profitable crops and livestock such as vanilla, green beans, chickens, etc. And by providing entrepreneurship training, teaching them to save and giving microloans to members of their community. Today, you hardly see mud houses in our region. Everyone lives in brick houses with metal roofing, owns a cellular phone, and a small solar panel to charge it and provide light at night. For more achievement, you can go and check our website, karimufoundation.org. Yes, eliminating extreme poverty is not a dream, it's a reality. And my team and I have a data to prove it. And then, another big dream I had never imagined happened to me. I was accepted and received a scholarship to attend the executive program at Stanford University. Woo-hoo. Coming to USA and attending the Stanford executive program has been another major opportunity in my life. I can hardly describe to you how much I learned in these last 8 weeks. Starting from the American way of life, its efficiency, speed of execution, innovation, and the application of technology to constantly improve the life of a society and the world. I learned so much at Stanford about management, execution, leadership, and diplomacy from professors as famous and as competent as Condoleezza Rice. It was incredible. I never studied this so much in my life. And I am ready and excited to apply everything I learned and bring Karimu to the next level. As you can see, I always had tremendous resilience, dedication, and discipline in pursuing my goals. However, without opportunities, these traits are useless. Throughout my life, many people give me opportunity that transformed my life. My mother, teacher Anna Mafa, my priest, the student loan from the government, Karimu, and now the scholarship to come to Stanford. I am tremendously grateful to each and every one of them. I am also thankful for the opportunity to work for Karimu and serve my community in a ways I could have never imagined when I was young. Thank you. Thank you very much for listening to me.